I'm Julie Hoffman, and I manage adoption work for the state of North Dakota. November is Adoption Awareness Month, and we're here today to talk about adoption. I often explain adoption as a two-track process, one with the family and one with the child. And so we're here today to talk to Maria from AASK about the adoption process. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Julie. Thanks for having me.
Nice to have you. So can you tell me a little bit about what AASK does?
Yeah, so AASK stands for Adults Adopting Special Kids. We are a program that partners with the North Dakota Health and Human Services to facilitate adoptions throughout the state of North Dakota. So we provide adoption services to children in foster care and support the families that adopt them.
So for families who are interested in pursuing adoption, what can they expect that process to look like?
I would encourage families to give us a call so we can get you started with our inquiry meeting. This is a purely informational meeting that'll just kind of give you an overview of the process, the program, what we do. That is not a commitment at all to attend this meeting, but after the meeting, if you are still interested in moving forward with adoption, we would love to give you some referrals to different training resources and then ultimately get you registered for our application and home study process.
Are there supports available for families during this process?
Absolutely. A family will have a support person beside them every step of this process, starting from the intake, the application process, through the home study process, and ultimately through finalization of their adoption and beyond.
So, home study, what does that look like? What do you do during that time?
So the idea behind a home study is really for an AASK specialist to get to know your family and really assess your ability and willingness to adopt a child through foster care. And so we do that by discussing your social histories, we discuss your background check information. If you're a two-parent home, we'll discuss your marriage or relationship. We review family dynamics within the home, we interview the children in the home, and then we ask adoption preparation questions to really assess your ability to parent a child.
So let's say the family is approved through the home study process. Then how does AASK make the decision about what child is placed in their home?
Yeah, so AASK doesn't make the final decision of which children are matched with families. That decision is made by the entity that has legal responsibility for the child, which is typically the human service zone or the tribe. However, AASK does offer an adoption competent opinion and expertise, and we really are advocates for the families that are home studied and approved through our program.
Okay. Well, we're sitting here today with 26 pairs of shoes. Why?
Yeah, so AASK facilitates far beyond 26 adoptions a year. Just the last fiscal year, we facilitated over 300 adoptions. And so, like I said, far beyond 26. However, these 26 pairs of shoes represent the children that are currently in the foster care system that don't have an identified adoptive option. And so AASK utilizes recruitment services to help locate families for these children.
Right. So 26 is a low number, but still too many.
Absolutely.
How do you recruit homes for these children? What is that?
Yeah. So the first thing specialists do is really get to know the child that we're working with and that we're recruiting a family for. We really dive into their interests, their opinions, really try to make sure that they understand the adoption process and what to expect in age-appropriate ways. And we also really dive through their history and their records to see if there's any connection that we maybe have missed along the way. And so sometimes we reach out to old coaches or old neighbors or old teachers to see if they would maybe potentially be a placement option. We also utilize state and national platforms to show the children as well and hopefully broaden that pool of potential adoptive options.
What are some things that you wish more people knew about adoption?
Yeah, well, there's several. I would say a big one is that older children and teenagers are absolutely adoptable, and honestly, it's our greatest need for adoptive homes. I would say things like you don't have to own a home You don't have to be married or be a two-parent home. You can live in an apartment, you can be renting, and you can be a single applicant. Actually, single applicants are very common with our program. Regarding the financial piece, adoption is not expensive through our program because the state actually covers the cost of the adoptions for families. And also regarding background check, criminal background check histories, if an applicant has a criminal history, that doesn't automatically disqualify them from adopting through our program. I would say if there are concerns with a criminal history, be upfront and honest with us through that initial application process so that we can best help you navigate that background check process and ultimately then determine whether or not you would be eligible.
Great. Tell me, what's your thought about how does adoption change lives?
Every child that comes into foster care has experienced loss, regardless of the age that they come into foster care. And so if a family is proceeding with adoption with a child, they have this beautiful opportunity to help a child process, grow, and heal from that loss. And ultimately, adoption is a commitment that reaches far beyond the age of 18. It's a lifelong commitment. And so if a family is able to connect with a child and build that foundation and that relationship at any point in their life, it can ultimately change the trajectory of a child's life. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So what would you say to people who are hesitant about the idea of adopting an older child or a sibling group?
Yeah. Well, like I said earlier, teenage adoptions are our greatest need at this time. These children, teenagers, are so resilient and truly oftentimes they long for this sense of permanency and a place to feel that they belong. Our goal is that no child ages out of the foster care system without a family connection. That's very important. Regarding sibling groups, a sibling relationship is the longest relationship that a person can ever have, longer than our marital relationship, our children, our parents. A sibling relationship is the longest one. And so it is vital that at any opportunity we have, we are placing these children together to maintain that relationship. Just last year alone, AASK placed 47 sibling groups, I believe, into different homes, which is a total of 115 children. So they all are able to maintain those sibling connections in the same home.
Wonderful. So if people aren't in a position to adopt, how can they help children in foster care?
I would say for people that know of an adoptive family, definitely become a part of their village. Offer to cook them meals, offer to help the family with respite by taking their adoptive child for a couple hours or an evening one night. If somebody doesn't know an adoptive family or isn't comfortable helping in those ways, contact your local AASK office and see if we're taking donations of like teddy bears that we give to children on their adoption day or gift cards that we give to the children, the recruitment children that are waiting right now on their birthdays and holidays and things like that. So definitely give us a call. There's ways.
Great idea. So we talked about support during the process of adoption. Is there support available for families once they've adopted?
Yeah. So North Dakota actually has some of the best post-adoption services in the nation. Our North Dakota Post-Adopt Network is a completely voluntary program. Every family, guardianship, and adoptive family is able to access these services at any point after their finalization. They offer supports like support groups, online webinars, summer camps, winter retreats, respite grants, and things like that. So it's completely voluntary, and the families can reach out to them at any point far beyond a child turns 18.
It sounds like a lot of activities that put people in touch with other adoptive families.
Absolutely. Yep.
Cool. What advice would you give someone who is thinking about adoption?
Yeah. So the first thing I would encourage a family to do is really try to figure out what you want adoption to look like in your life and what your ultimate goal is through adoption. There's infancy adoption, there's international adoption, there's foster care adoption, and once you kind of establish and decide on what you want it to look like right now in your life and for your family, that's when you do the research, make the calls, ask the hard questions. That's what we're here for. Our AASK website has wonderful resources to look into as well as other reputable national information.
Well, thanks, Maria. This has been a really fun time and lots of kids to place.
Thanks, Joey.